ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. 10. Ground control 9 to Major Tom. 7. 6. Commencing countdown engines on. 3. 2. Check ignition and make us happy with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You really made the grade.
Yo, really thought I'd leave you guys hanging. Hi everybody, welcome back to Metroid Fusion. It's been approximately 3 years, 4 years maybe, since I last uploaded the an episode of this, but we're back. We're doing something a little different. So in between, in fact, recently I got a copy of I managed to get a good deal on Nintendo Switch Online, and I replayed through all of Metroid Fusion in my own time. I've realized that the way that I consume games and my opinions on games has kind of changed since I first started playing the Metroid games back in like 2021, 2020. So I've played up to where I got up to where I ended on the cliffhanger in Sector 3, I think the PVR, or the Pyro. And we're just going to play, we're just going to chat. I'm not going to be editing this as much. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm kind of like, part of the reason I didn't want to follow up the last video, is because I felt like my commentary wasn't all that substantive. It was kind of me just reacting to stuff and talking to chat. This is a non-live commentary, where I'll just be talking to you, and I feel like I do owe you guys some sort of conclusion to Metroid Fusion, because I do owe this game a lot for how much attention it brought to my channel, and also I think like it's a good ass game, but I don't think I was able to appreciate it properly when in the context of a stream where I'm also trying to pay attention to chat and crack jokes and stuff. I just get the security room. As I've matured, as I've gotten older, I've realized that you should like evaluate works of art based on what they're trying to achieve, and how, as opposed to what you expect of them. With all that considered, Metroid Fusion is a really polished game. It's got some of the, some of the best sprite work, some of the best movement tech. Most involved narrative of any Metroid game. And we're gonna get the security robot coming up soon. But like also like just the sound design in this game is super satisfying. The charge beam, the slap, and the crunch of the super missiles, all very good. While Super Metroid is like kind of atmospheric, I'd say Metroid Fusion goes for more like cinematic, dramatic cues where it fits the mood of the scene more than just the general like ambiance. Oh, I actually have to go that way. Oh, okay. There we are. I was wondering how we've triggered this boss. Now, I actually struggled with this boss quite badly on my first time around because I couldn't land the hits. I had no idea how to get like the window to when the window was for getting the missiles in. Also, dodging the fire pillars, I didn't quite understand, but something I really want to do, I do think Metroid Fusion does incredibly well, is the, like, it's almost like it's a pretty tight, consistent quality in terms of, like, the different bosses and stuff. All of, like, sort of these crazy sci-fi Cronenbergs. And, in Super Metroid, the bosses kind of just float around and grab you. But in this, they've got, like, all sorts of different abilities and, like, cool weak spots and things. And beyond that, they actually make sense to be here. You know, they're not just giant dinosaurs that are ostensibly space pirates. These are all like fucked up biological experiments and research, you know, research projects that have gone, you know, that have been set loose around this building. That was lucky. I was gonna cock that up big time, actually. I see that you encountered a rogue security robot. You may destroy it if you meet it again. Your safety is vital. But as to your brief, level 2 security locks are released, so Sector 5 and 6 are open. That means those sectors have likely been infiltrated by X. They are much harder to stop than we initially suspected. Sector 5 is sub-zero, and you're still susceptible to cold from the vaccine side effects, so you'll take damage if you ever set foot inside there. Avoid Sector 5 for now, but in the meantime, HQ is working on days to adjust your suit for extreme temperatures. Once we have the transmission, you can download it, but the X have destroyed all the data rooms you have used so far. I no longer doubt their capacity for critical thought. You'll have to use the data room in the night habitat. Okay. Cool. Sector 6. Yep. Incoming dispatch. Bro's blowing up my DMs. Does Sama suspect anything? No, I don't think so. Good, monitor her closely. Affirmative, out. So that's pretty much where we got up to, or I left the last video. And I did end up going on to finish Metroid Fusion in that original playthrough. And I still have the stream VODs on the second channel. But, I wasn't too pleased in retrospect with how those streams turned out, because I'd caught a cold at the time. It was like over Christmas, over winter, yeah. But I really want to take the time to, as we go through the rest of the game, to you know, discuss like the flaws and merits of this game. I think I could never do. I'm not the right person to do a retrospective for Metroid because I wasn't there. But as someone who, you know, is grown up with like Wii PS2 era consoles going forward, going back and playing these retro games, especially when modern games are so shit, is like an enlightening experience, and that's the perspective I want to offer. Yeah, moving to a data room, there's a problem. X from the Sub-Zero sector are in NOC, and they've been changed by the cold. If you absorb one, you'll be frozen from within. Okay. Did you get the various suit? Okay then, no problem, thank you. And if you guys like this formula, I'd be happy to do more like this. It takes a lot less, as much as I like hyper editing, over editing stuff, it's a lot of effort for what I felt was pretty mediocre content. Like, I was using the visual gags and, you know, editing as a crutch for a lack of like meaningful commentary. And going forward, I think I want to do stuff that's a bit more mellow, a bit more authentic. This is not the... Okay. God damn it. I wasn't expecting to die on this playthrough, I'll be honest. And I want to carve out a space where, you know, I can talk about the things that I'm interested in, and I can discuss with people about like old games and shit, and what's going on in the game world, and also a space where like we can just have fun. But that's the difference I thought I found between. I don't think I quite got the distinction between a stream and. I'm just go this way. No, I'm not. These things are way more dangerous than I expected. Where am I supposed to be going? I don't think I quite got the difference between stream content and YouTube content. I think the bar is much higher for YouTube content, because I think at the stream you're just trying to create a general vibe or room or space where you can where you can be laid back. You can have a bit of banter, have some funny moments and stuff. The game you're playing really doesn't matter, and I found that like whatever game I'm playing, as long as I'm having fun with it, people seem to get behind it. But I think streams very rarely make for good YouTube videos because, you know, ultimately most of the content is just reacting to chat and just, you know, and just saying things out your ass or whatever. I think for YouTube videos, especially considering how saturated the market is, do need to have like a purpose to make you watch them all the way through. I think we're gonna have an encounter with the. Yes, here we are. Alright. So, something I mentioned in the Zero Mission videos is how the devs know the player is going to want to do certain actions and uses that to make them feel like they've solved a puzzle, even though it was entirely planned from the beginning. I think the linearity of Fusion does mean that there's less of that, but what they do instead, funny. Oops, careful. I think what Fusion does instead that's pretty comparable is it knows that players will want to explore certain rooms that are presented to them, like this one, and will end up in certain situations organically, and uses that to pace its story, which I'd say is still pretty darn clever. So we easily could have entered this room and transitioned to like a pre-animated cutscene, or you know, where we encounter the SAX, but because it was all in gameplay and we arrived on our own time, it instead feels like a pretty natural and almost random encounter we had with this thing that's trying to stalk us throughout this entire building. I really think what Fusion does well, like, again, Metroid games in general have a ambient sort of horror, or like an eerie vibe in general, but in terms of like sheer immediate terror, Fusion does that extremely well, with how threatening the SAX is, and the fact that it could technically be anywhere in the lab theoretically. Now, obviously, all of its encounters are pretty scripted, but the fact that it feels like you stumbled across it by accident is the powerful part. You know, most bosses just sort of wait in their assigned room until you have the right tools to access them, by which point, like, the challenge is just beating them. They're not actually that much stronger than you. Like here, we're gonna have a boss from here. But the SAX is a boss that you don't actually want to encounter, because it will just downright kill you. And that's like so genius, I think, for just raising the stakes. Alright, here's the Core X boss fight. Now, I'm not gonna speedrun this game. I don't know. I've seen some speedruns, people can get it down to like under an hour, you know, an hour 30 or whatever. I'm not that guy, right? I don't know how to I don't know how to do these games fast, but I would like to think that I don't suck at every boss. At least by now. I've never quite gotten, like, the dodging tech down in Metroid, though. Oh, fucking hell, that was... I'm way too close, okay. I got the clown soup spaghetti caterpillar, jelly caterpillar, Varia suit. I am playing, like, originally I was playing on a PC emulator, and I did have color correction enabled to make it look more like it should on the original Game Boy Advance. I am just playing on Nintendo Switch Online, but honestly, I think Nintendo Switch emulation is perfectly decent. And honestly, I think, like, it's just convenient as well. Like, I've played way more... I played way more of these games, you know, since they came onto the Switch than I personally feel, you know, than when I had to just boot up an emulator and load up a ROM and stuff on off my drive. There's no more items in this area, right? Ah! Bastard. No. I knew there was a room like that, but I thought it was further on. Oh well. Plenty of missile upgrades. That is the only thing that I think is a little disappointing, is that a lot of the secrets are... Because exploration is a little more constricted in this, I think a lot of the secrets, like puzzles and stuff, they're not quite as elaborate as they were in Super, and like you're backtracking for like just like a one like fucking power bomb upgrade or whatever. I don't know if I don't think I'm particularly care much about going for 100%. In fact, but I'll try and pick up energy capsules where I can, because it'll probably make the game a little bit easier for me. It's not something I'm usually bothered with, but I know getting good endings like is something people like to do. Speaking of good endings, I did get a lot of flack for I got some, well, not a lot. I got some flack for abandoning the animals in oh shit, I did miss an item there. For abandoning the animals at the end of Super. I'm sorry about that. But I didn't know they were there, guys. I'm sorry. You know, don't call the RSPCA on my ass, but yeah. Yeah, don't get alarmed, but I actually don't. This ain't the Space Monkey Rescue Sanctuary, I'm sorry. How did that X download the Variosuit data? This doesn't seem to make any sense at all, unless the X had the ability to process data organically. At any rate, you have the Variosuit data. Now you'll be protected from extreme temperatures. More importantly, SEX will no longer be able to freeze, so you can escape easier. Still too weak, that thing is too much for you. No way of damaging it, but my simulating indicates a penetrating weapon like the plasma beam might work. Okay. Developing modification data will take HQ some time though. There's also a chance you may be able to restore your plasma beam by absorbing a large core X, as you did with the charge beam function. No ice beam, your current cellular makeup will reject that addition. Therefore, HQ has developed an ice missile. Yeah. Okay. Sector 5. Something that I kind of joked about in the last video was that this technically was made by the same team and used the same engine as Wario Land 4. And I thought that was funny at the time. I thought, yeah, okay, Wario, Wario's a goofy, like, garlic guy, and they made a whole ass Metroid game off the back of that. Like, that amuses me, but they actually, Nintendo put Wario Land 4 on the Switch Online on Valentine's Day of all days. I know. But I actually played it for a bit and realized how, like, no shit, Wario Land 4 inspired Pizza Tower, and as I've been told that, but I didn't actually realize how fluid and how much fun the platforming and, like, movement options you have, how many movement options you have in that game for, like, decent, like, speed running and stuff. And, a lot of that does translate into this, especially with, like, the shine sparks and stuff. In general, like, I can see why it was a natural choice for the same engine. I also want to apologize to Samus Returns. I did not put respect on that game's name. I said, perhaps, kind of erroneously, that I think AM2R is the definitive Metroid 2 remake, or way to... Which isn't true, like, the definitive way to experience Metroid 2 is Metroid 2, but I think, for me personally, it felt very, like, the use of sprite work felt very reminiscent of the Mission, which was, which I enjoyed a lot. And I think, like, I've just never been a fan of 2.5D graphics. But... Alright, why am I hanging around here? But that's not to disrespect Mercury's team. They obviously did a good enough job with Samus Returns that they then made Dread, like, Metroid Dread, which is a banger game. Also I've been told. Haven't actually played that yet, sorry. But I did play Prime. There we are. I did play Prime, I think, not last year, but like when the Prime HD came out. And that game gets... Now, obviously that was an astounding, like, remake from Retro. But I do get like I definitely understand the praise for that game. It certainly fulfills like the exploration itch that that I've come to sort of expect to be scratched out of like Metroid games, to be honest. And I would say the combat is kind of, I don't know, I did find like the combat, especially in the last boss of Metroid Prime, to be a little bit like underwhelming. It is a first-person shooter, but like it's more about the exploration than the actual shooting. And it felt like the combat just came to spamming the different like missile upgrades and charge beam like upgrades and stuff. But in terms of like particle effects and shit like that, like visually hugely impressive, and the puzzles were really fun as well. Ah, that was easy. I like the addition of the security rooms because I think it makes revisiting. It has its sort of it gives again an in-canon reason, an in-law reason why certain areas are gated off. Instead of just being like, oh, you need the missiles to open this door, because why would that make sense on a research station? But it does, like, having to find the security doors that are not marked on the map does incentivize exploration and give you like a brief period of like not knowing entirely which direction you need to go in. It does give like a little pause from like the objective-based gameplay. But the objective-based gameplay obviously works quite well for a handheld title where you're gonna pick it up, put it down, like forget what it is that you are actually doing, and need to like just like refresh. Ice missiles, huh? That seems like the perfect weapon to for Metroid busting. You would think, right? I'm sure that won't be a problem later. I expect. Yeah, I fucking knew it. Right. Yeah, I mean, look at all like the background details and stuff. A lot of the backdrops in Super were just like pitch black, or there we are. That's what I'm looking for. But there's like a lot, and I think okay, with regards to sprite work, by the time DS came along, you'd already moved into low poly 3D, but I think like the Game Boy Advance was kind of like the last bastion for like the SNES era style sprite work. Like, and it was certainly the last time big AAA publishers were making high quality sprite work for games in my experience. Excluding like a few like retro pandering releases that came later, like. Emergency Sector 3, the error could melt down soon. It seems the main boiler's cooling unit is malfunctioning. This could easily destroy the entire research station, as it would likely trigger the auto-destruct explosive within about 6 minutes. Accident must have hacked into system control files. What impressive intelligence. Yeah. Little time. I don't get why we don't just let the station blow up, though, to be fair, because isn't the whole reason we're here to exterminate the X? I've never let it play out in full and see what happens if you do let the station blow up. So, compare and contrast, like, the worlds of a Metroid game to Fusion. I think the lab setting is a weird one. I think like it's a more sterile environment than and also it's sectioned off with the different zones and stuff. the different like biomes, which does make it like feel less huge or less open than the typical like planet areas Samus like explores. But I think shit. It's an environment that changes as the story progresses. I think a lot of the story beats are woven into the gameplay and the gameplay world, as you can afford to forget about like Ridley and Krays, because again they're just doing their own thing until you show up and kill them pretty much. But oh, here we are. That took me way too long to get here. But even when you're like exploring other areas, the X is still trying to sabotage you, and the station, and like, you know, doors that you came through like get blown up, and like paths get changed after you've explored them, and new threats emerge like in areas you thought were safe and stuff like that. I think it's a very dynamic like level map that's. Oh, this one's got the wave beam, has it? Or the wide beam, that's it. Oh, that's a relief. As I said, I haven't really had the time or energy. Well, I can't technically have the time, but like it wasn't a good use of my time to be playing video games. Yeah, until I'd finished with my course. But now that I have the time and the appetite to play video games again, I am finding myself enjoying them more. I was like the most I'd play. And most I've been playing really in the past like year or so is just like cheeky games of Balatro here and then, which is an amazing game, but I do want to start playing more like narrative single player games, more artistic games I suppose. And I think the thing is with indie and retro games is, I know it's like it's a common, whenever people say, oh, you know, gaming sucks nowadays, games aren't fun anymore, you just think, oh, come on, man. Like, you've just played the same game over and over and you've gotten bored of it. Also, your life probably sucks and you've just used gaming as a crutch and you don't have enough, like, you don't have enough variety in your life to actually enjoy, to actually enjoy games. I think that's, like, that is true for a lot of cases, but I do, like, I feel like, it's just kind of an objective fact that, like, last year, 2024, and the year before, 2023, were terrible years for video games. Like, the state of the AAA industry genuinely makes me depressed. You know, developers with passion and with integrity have been completely disrespected in, like, the endless quest to, like, monetize and like maximize profits. I think like big studios just don't make good games anymore. Like maybe Nintendo aside, but even still, like they've had some questionable, like even Nintendo have been like anti-consumer from time to time. In fact, quite often. But yeah, like 2024, like saw huge layoffs across the industry. You know, executives do not prioritize talent or fun in video games. It's just like how many copies can we sell, and how many of those users can we milk for money for the rest of their lives? But, so yeah, like, and I've come to appreciate more, like, when you play a multiplayer game, you just keep playing it forever and rage, and your emotions bounce between wins and losses and raging at other players. A single player game is like a concise experience where you just enjoy, like, the collaborative vision of a team of people who came together to make something beautiful. So I think that's cool. The X mimicked a crew member. It all makes sense now. The X can absorb memories of knowledge of their prey. One understanding find. HQ is very impressed. But don't find it strange? This could have destroyed the station with the X in it, not to mention the SAX. Unusual for a self-preserving species like the X, unless your presence is an even greater threat. A threat to the existence of X elsewhere. It's only a hypothesis. perhaps their survival instinct is in conflict with their newly borrowed intelligence. Don't let your guard down yet, the X are still a threat. Samus, I see biosigns on the habitation deck. Survivors? The infected crewman you saw had survived until recently. Maybe there's a chance the signs emanate from here. Yeah, alright. Okay, we can go back to the main elevator. So, kind of figuring out what I bring to the table as a unique voice. Well, like, and I know, like, oh, like, it's kind of a meme to say that we're living through unprecedented times. But we are kind of like watching the West fall to like tech oligarchy, and I feel like there are going to be people out there who do just need like a form of escape. Speaking of escape, monkey. Yes, the animals that I totally saved in Super Metroid. Whoops. Is there an item in this that I could find? I don't think so. So, I mean, you know, I don't know what I can do, but if I can provide like a space where you like that's like kind of safer and kind of like and it's like an escape from the hellish sort of fucking world we live in, then that's cool. Edakuns and Decoras. I've met these intelligent beings before. They seem to recognize me as well. How unusual to meet them again here. In the past, they've helped me unleash abilities I didn't know I had. Where did they run to? I hope they're safe. So the survivors were not human. Most unfortunate. You can now confirm the deaths of all crew members. I imagine this was the case, but I'd hoped it wasn't so. I believe the X only affected humans for knowledge. That form is too weak for battle. I'm sure the other were merely food for the X. Some, I think they are evolving, growing stronger. Some are now appearing that resist your current weapons. Anticipate this and send power bomb data as soon as the hardware for a team finished it. Yeah. Immediately, your choice of data rooms is limited to only someone in Sector 5. Go now. Now, while I'm playing through this, if you're in the comments, be sure to let me know what other types of games you'd like me to play. I've been thinking of getting into starting like a roguelike that I can just, knock out a solid session in and then play that. Like Isaac or FTL or something. In fact, FTL is one of my favorite games. Honestly, I think like it's just I'm not sure what direction I might be taking the channel in going forward, but I definitely in future will be going more with the flow and going with my gut instead of, because I think it was a mistake to lock myself into a multi-part series that I was not gonna finish. So is there a proper way to do this puzzle? Well, that seems to work. Okay, no, okay, fucking hell. Alright, thank you. Oops. Wait. Can't we just wall jump up the elevator shaft? Never mind. Ah. I remember seeing that for the first time and I was like, ain't no way I have to fight Ridley now, right? And then it's like, no. Later. The main side of the reactor core has gone offline. That's why all elevators and station systems are down. Elevators and hatches won't work. This doesn't bode well. If you can get to this point, you may be able to start the auxiliary power system. Then we can figure out why the main silo went offline. Yeah. By the way, I asked you to return here to tell you. Some strange creatures have boarded your ship and confirmed that they were not ex-hosts and gave them a birth. Do you know anything about these strange creatures? Were they a source of their healthy biosense earlier? Very well then, their presence in the midst of this disaster must have some significance. That's cute. Alright, Central Reactor Core. Here's a save room down here, right? Yeah. I should probably save on full health. Oh, it's offline. Fucking hell. Okay. I think I was going to get onto this earlier, but I kind of forgot. I think Nintendo were always very hands-off with story. And I think that works for like 2D platformers, you know, like Super Mario, where you just want to repeat the same plot forever. Because it's just this fun, silly... He's just this fun, silly guy who goes, wahoo! And you can... And it never gets old, and that's like all he is, and everyone knows who Mario is. I feel like outside of the Nintendo sphere, and even then, even within it, to be honest, I feel like people don't really know what Samus's deal is, because her games come out very infrequently. Everyone just knows her as like the hot blonde from Smash Brothers, and even then, I think Fusion does like a lot of the necessary legwork for establishing Samus's sort of... Establishing that Metroid games can have a story, that Samus can have an inner dialogue, and doesn't have to just be an avatar for the player in the way like Gordon Freeman is, or something like that. I actually don't know how to dodge this boss, really. What was I supposed to get out of the way of that? Oh, I did land a hit on him. Okay. We got to the second phase much faster than before. That's good. I could just spam missiles. I don't know why I was doing the charge beam. Okay, cool. Get the health first. Secure the bag. Fucking God. Fuck. Alright, that was hard. That was not... Alright, okay. I do think it is good that this game is so jam-packed with hard as nails bosses. And each one is like... They're not just damage sponges. They have all have their own like unique mechanics. Also interesting that they gives you the space jump without the screw attack. So we can explore a little bit easier, but our movement options are still kind of limited. Our attack power is still limited, even if we have more movement options, I mean. Save and recharge rooms are back online, but with only auxiliary power. No elevators or hatches will work. We're still stuck. I believe the source of the problem is the vegetation you saw earlier choking the reactor core components. Yeah. I think it's weird to me, when I first started playing this game, like, AI hadn't quite taken off at that point. And so, like, I was reading Adam's dialogue in, like, extremely robotic, like intonation and, like, putting on, like, the vocal fry and stuff. I guess it just didn't occur to me that in the future, like, we would just, in only a couple years' time, we would just make robots with naturally sound that just imitate natural human speech. So this, as far as I'm aware, is the first point in the game where we are forced to encounter the SEX. Like, we could have accidentally gotten in its way before, but we'd have died. But now we actually have, like, no choice. So I'm gonna freeze it and just run past and kind of hope that it... Alright, hide. That whole section is, like, incredibly stress-inducing. Thankfully, that didn't take too long. You can just sort of empty your missiles into it. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I really thought my lack of, like, platforming skills would screw me over there, as I just get, like, knocked into the flowers. But now, okay, cool. Is this a plasma beam? I think so. Well, that'll make eliminating these fuckers a lot easier. That is consistently across all Metroid games, you know. Getting upgrades is fun, I think. Having said, I do think the, I would like to see more upgrades, man. I think the same old of, like, missile power bomb, like, wave beam, super speed, or like jet booster, screw attack, does get a little bit stale across games, and, like, especially considering Samus keeps losing them, and you're like, okay, what the fuck? You're just gonna lose all these abilities to unlock them again over the course of, like, a game. I think this is the ice missiles being, like, a new thing is pretty cool. And I think in Prime, the different types of, like, the fire beam and stuff like that was pretty cool. Like, elemental beams. And also, like, the unique suits in Prime, I thought were very cool. Like, the suits having, like, more variety than just various suits and, like, gravity suits. You've restored plasma beam functionality. Most unexpected. Even so, continue to avoid the SAX. It is too maybe stronger. You still lack a few abilities that are crucial to your survival. Wait a second. More trouble. Hold on. I've isolated the cause. There's been an explosion in the Arc data room. Go to Sector 5. Is your objective clear? Yes. Okay. Damage is staggering. Ah, okay. It's gotten worse. Damage seems to have been caused by a creature kept here by the researchers who named it the Nightmare. Apparently it was a biomechanical organism designed for military applications. Its possessed uncommon power and can manipulate gravity. Thing is out of control. Hurry before it destroys the entire station. I just think that's cool. There's a... It's something that the Fusion hints at that isn't really addressed. I think the Federation in most games, yeah, excluding like Other M or something, isn't really a thing. It's just like, usually it's just nameless scientists that you see Samus handing off the Metroid to, but in this it's implied that they get up to some crazy shit in their spare time. It sort of hints at like at something some sort of overarching plot or like a conspiracy that's greater than what's just communicated in Metroid Fusion, but it does. I don't think it's ever really followed up on, and I think that's a shame. I think Metroid, or Metroid fans at least, would probably appreciate some more world building. I think that Samus's characterization is fairly stoic. I don't think we need to know too much about Samus. Beyond just having her, her having some degree of agency, but oh shit, man. Against mermaid space pirate, buying a lot of the galaxy Samus inhabits is like, and all this sort of civilization she's a part of, it remains kind of unexplored by the player. And I get that it's like the sci-fi flick sort of thing to have, to be this, that each Metroid game is like an episodic part of Samus's like overall adventure, or like just covers like one particular mission that she had. Hang on a second, I remember this. Thank you, I will take that energy capsule. Yes, please. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Imo, this is the coolest boss in this game. It's like, I was talking about how, like again, they really lean into the fucking creepy-ass Cronenberg shit here, but, like, this was made by ostensibly the good guys. This is made in a lab for the sole purpose of just killing. A lot of the bosses, I think, that appeared in Fusion do get like 3D incarnations in Other M, but the sprite work in here is so good, man. Look how colorful. Look how it does look like something out of like I wouldn't say it's manga based. I say it just looks like a. Oh, sorry, I need to get out of there. Something out of like a graphic novel or something. Alright, now we unload all the missiles in our arsenal. Okay. Pull out. Yeah, that should do it. That should do it. Come on. Come on. Like, Crocomire in Super Metroid isn't even a space pirate. He's just a fucking dinosaur who is quite happy until you, like, just appear and kill him. This thing looks like it was wishing for death the entire time. Like, you take off its mask thing and it's just in agony. Alright, gravity suit. Cool. The pace at which we unlock stuff in this game is quite rewarding. Like, there's never a dull moment. Also, the gravity suit does look pretty cool. The various suit looks silly, but the gravity suit actually looks decent. This is probably my favorite track in the game now I think about it. It's one of the more mellow ones, and like, the only thing that holds back Metroid Fusion's music for me is just the limits of the GBA. I'm sorry to say it, but like, you can be fucking the love child of like Mozart and Michael Jackson, but you ain't ever making something sound pleasant to the ears on the Game Boy Advance. You can make some banging melodies, and I love the music in like Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga and on Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but god damn, man, like Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire will never live down the trumpets ripping your ears out every time you encounter like a fucking Zigzagoon. But yeah, no, I like not Meridia and all the sort of underwater music in Metroid, like, 'cause it's. I think that there's the concept of being in an underwater like environment, like alright, like aquatic ambience is already my favorite track from Donkey Kong Country. Just but you put that in space, my god, you know what I mean? Like now we're talking like chill, man. Can I go back up, maybe? That's it. That fish can go through here. I remember there being like an invisible block or something. Although I am low on health again. Again. Oh, no, there's the... Right, yeah. So we weren't actually instructed by Adam to find this, but because, again... Yeah. We came across this entirely independently. We were supposed to come across this, but it felt like kind of an accident, you know what I mean? It's like, oops. Well, you know, and also the player doesn't question it. I think a lot of games struggle with the player and the player character having like asynchronous thoughts, or sorry, that's a stupid word to use. Like different objectives. In that, like you know, like you win the battle, die in the cutscene sort of thing, or you choose like a text option and then the player character does something entirely different. What I was saying, Samus is like the player's natural inclination to explore the station, and Samus's like internal like in universe objectives are entirely aligned. You know, Samus didn't stop us from unlocking that because she also wants to get she sort of makes her own decisions and stuff. It's in character for her to unlock that security hatch without Adam's authorization, because she's a badass who don't need no man. Like, the story and the player's actions are entirely in sync. You never go anywhere that the story doesn't want you to, except for, ironically, there's like a section over here where you can perform a skip, and there's a cool Easter egg you get if you do it. I will not be doing that. I am not skilled enough. Again, download room behind a level 4 lock, which we haven't been authorized to do yet. So we get the diffusion missile, world's first chargeable missile. Honestly, very cool upgrade. Makes the missile more than just this thing to be spammed at bosses. It's actually like a useful tool that has an effect. Okay, recharge room is actually right there. I'm gonna set up a power bomb just to be safe, because I know I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna stub my toe on like an atom and die. You upgraded your missiles. That's unusual. There was no word from HQ, a procedural error, I'm sure. Even so, I did not approve of bypassing security level 4. From now on, you will use more discretion. In any case, Salmon, do you remember the security robot you faced earlier? I believe the X have infected it. As I say, they have claimed the organic components that form its neural network. Here in neural network, post-AI revolution is kind of crazy, huh? Has entered Sector 6. I don't know what's planning, but let's not wait to find out. You know what to do. Oh, yeah, okay, we are getting close to the end of the game. Security robot seems to have gotten much stronger. This worries me. Be careful. But we have another problem. Once you're done, leave NOC immediately. The SX is tracking you. Is your objective clear? Yeah. Don't stay longer than you must. Understood? This is like, okay, it's this point where you've been reprimanded by Adam for getting the upgrade that he stops just being an objective waymarker and starts being a character. He's like a stickler for rules and is like super loyal to the Federation. To the point where it's now getting in the way of, ever so slightly, it's like slightly getting in the way of your objective of eradicating the X. Ah, okay, sorry, yeah, I went totally the wrong direction. Yep.
No entry without authorization.
Let me in.
Warning. No entry without authorization.
So this is interesting.
No entry without
Keep out?
authorization.
Out of what?
Warning. No entry without
What could possibly be here that would need sectioning off?
warning.
What could possibly be so dangerous? Anyway, here's our robot boy again. He seems to have a few more new tricks up his sleeve. Electrified water is kind of annoying, but honestly, I don't find the missiles too bad to handle. You see, it's using a very advanced boss AI strategy that you might disrespectfully call spazzing out. Okay, that's alright. Neato. Wave beam is just straight up just bars of DNA. Now, again, I haven't actually tried this, but oh, actually, if we go back, we can get a missile upgrade. That's nice. Okay, but we can't actually head back the way Adam wanted us to. Yeah, no, we can't. So, as if by an invisible hand, we are guided towards the secret laboratory. I think, like a lot of modern games will have like a map and a waymarker on, and it'll be like, oh, do this quest, do that quest, no matter what it is. The waymarkers in this game are given to you by Adam, but then stuff kind of happens along the way that isn't restricted zone. Yeah. Then stuff like this kind of happens along the way where you kind of just get, without realizing it, you've just wandered totally off the beaten path, but it's all planned. Also, low bit rate voice samples like this are really creepy. I've always like found them. Ah, there we are. Yeah, I'm sorry. This wasn't Unikitty Fusion. This wasn't Puppy Dog and Sugar Plum Fusion. It's Metroid Fusion. There's Metroids in it. Everyone wants to breed Metroids. It's always whenever we think they're dead, and look, they're fucking evolving them as well. Pretty cool reference to Metroid 2. We are above SR388. And this was foreshadowed from the beginning of the game because they had like a Metroid habitat simulate replica in Sector 1. You know what I mean? Like, and here they are, just in fucking lagoon jars. Someone's having a bit of tantrum downstairs. Let's go check it out. And you'll notice for the first time the SAX going batshit crazy. Alright. It's chill. So that whole area of the map is just gone now. Samus, you shouldn't have done that. You ignored your orders. You may have to pay a price for that quite soon. Like, Samus is pissed. Like, you know, you don't see this side of her in... Yeah, and it's obviously, it's not a lot. It's a ... but... You don't see this side of her in other games, so it's like, fuck you. As you can see, the Federation has been secretly working on a Metroid breeding program for peaceful applications only, of course. And Samus, of course, knowing everything about the Metroids that she does, is, like... is seething, like, you know. Perhaps you already knew of this program's existence. Certainly, you must have had doubts when you saw Sector 1. SRX, a faithful replica of the SR388 ecosystem. Ideal for raising Alpha, Gamma, Zeta, and even Omega Metroids. This research even covered techniques for rapid growth. Imagine creating an Omega from a larval Metroid in days. But that research is finished. The X have smelled out its natural enemy, and one of the SX is on your way here. One? You saying there's more than one? Don't be so surprised. You know that the X reproduced by asexual. Crazy the word sexual is in a Nintendo game, but alright, whatever. Because of this mechanism, there are now no fewer than 10 SX aboard the station. You must go. Get out. If you stay too long, the SX will destroy you. Stop only at the navigation room to uplink to me. I don't know how HQ is going to take this, but you need to report to them immediately. Yeah. Hey. Okay, go on. The real Adam would have said the same thing about that incident, but he would have softened the blow. He was relentless in his criticism, but he always cared. He was not a machine obsessed with duty. No such compassion could exist in that computer. No, we don't go this way yet. We go up here. And... yeah, I know where this is. Okay, so we're getting close to, like, the penultimate boss, but I'm gonna tell you the real fucking arch nemesis motherfucker big bad in this game is. It's not the fucking X, it's not the Metroids or Ridley or the Federation or whatever. It's these motherfuckers here. These golden pirates. You can't get past this area. This door won't open for some reason until they've been killed, right? Now, okay, you think, okay, just blast them with missiles, right? No. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay, so what do you do? Do you have to wait for like an opening on them? No. No. Do you have to use charge shots? No. Do you have to use charge missiles? Nope, no effects. Oh, hang on. You hit them, but how did you hit them? Their weak spot is supposed to be their back. But there's no visual indicator of that whatsoever. Now, that would be bad enough on its own. But the detection zone for those two characters, the detection zone for their weak spot isn't even on them or relative to their position. It entirely depends if you're facing away from them or not. So if you shoot them and look away, it thinks that you're looking into their back because you're facing the same direction. And therefore it counts as a hit. This caused me so much frustration on my first time around because I was landing hits, like I would shoot a missile, run away, and think that and not realize that the reason it hit was because I turned for like half a second or like 2 frames or whatever. I'd be like, I'd shoot, turn around, do that, like, you know. And I thought because I timed it differently or because I hit like in like a small weak spot. So I had no idea it was the fact that I was turning around was causing it to hit. And so I was just spamming missiles and like, I was here for ages. Literally ages. These guys are IMO. The lowest point of this game. I'm not even gonna like disguise it. I fucking hate these golden pirates. Alright, okay, here's what we've all been waiting for.
Baby. Metroid.
Any objections, lady?
This is not Ridley, this is Neo Ridley. Or Ridley X. Honestly, a really cool idea. I mean, you do wonder, like, how Ridley keeps coming back most of the time. Sometimes it's through like cybernetics or whatever, but this is his like a zombified corpse being possessed by an alien virus, which is fucking metal as hell. And the music in the background is Ridley's theme, but it's kinda like fucked up. And like slowed down. Finally got the screw attack. I'm not sure what part of that boss said screw attack, but I guess screw Ridley. Samus, we're done here. Leave the rest of the Federation. We should be preparing to evacuate the station. Are you joking? Do they know how dangerous the X are? How quickly they reproduce? The Federation has taken an interest in the X and the SAX. They believe this life form has endless potential applications. This is ridiculous. The X are heartless abominations. What potential could they have? It's not necessary that you understand such matters. The Federation is coming now. You should just leave quietly. This is madness, says Sparta. They won't leave. They won't stand a chance here. The station will devour them. What could be worth the risk? Capturing the SAX, of course. Are you serious? Do they really think they can succeed? It will certainly be difficult. They don't expect your help. They knew you would try to destroy the SAX. That's why they stopped sending you support data. The plasma beam modification was ready some time ago, but they withheld it to keep you from engaging the SAX. Yet somehow you restored that function on your own. They also tried to withhold the fusion missile upgrade because they didn't want you to grow too powerful. But they'd already sent it, and you tracked it down. Bravo, Samus. They must cancel the mission. Open a channel to HQ. I won't let this happen. They are already on their way. Fools. As soon as the Federation ships land, the X will overwhelm them and absorb the knowledge and power of their occupants. The X is just waiting for the hunt to begin, and then they'll spread across the universe. Galactic civilization will end. The X hunger for form, knowledge, and power. They mimic these perfectly, but they cannot copy the soul. They're single-minded, distinctively seeking to increase in numbers. They're a plague, and the Federation underestimates their threat. Which is why the ancients built a series of gigantic space rings to destroy the flood. And oh, hang on a minute. Oh, sorry. The X must not leave here. I must destroy them all before the Federation arrives. This station has a self-destruct mechanism. I must use it to destroy the X here and on the planet. I must send them to oblivion. Then, the station, and myself if I have to. But notice we can't actually leave the. We're actually stuck in the navigation room. Open the hatch. I've been ordered to confine you until the ships arrive. Don't let them do this. Can't you see what will happen, Adam? Adam? Huh? Who is Adam? A friend of mine. And what would this friend advise you to do now? He knows that the only way to end this is to start the self-destruct cycle. He'd know how important this is. Did this Adam care for you? Would he sit in a safe command room and order you to die? He would understand that some must live and some must die. He knew what it meant. He made that sacrifice once. So he chose life for you, our fair warrior, Samus Aran. Your Adam gave his life so that you might keep yours. For the sake of the universe. How foolish. How dare you? How could you hope to understand, machine? You know that detonating the station in high orbit would not guarantee the complete extinction of the X-parasites. Even though the station would be utterly destroyed, you'd only succeed in removing the one obstacle to the galaxy's ruin, yourself. You'd ignore this simple fact and choose death. When Adam decided who would live, he chose incorrectly. If you were to alter the station's orbit, then you might be able to include the planet in the vaporization field of the self-destruct detonation. You'd have to start the propulsion sequence now, before the Federation arrives. Samus, this is your last mission. Go to the operations room and adjust the station's orbit path to intercept SR-388. Then return to your ship and escape. Move quickly and stay alive. That's an order. Any objections, lady? So, yes, as it turns out, the computer we called Adam after our former commanding officer actually is Adam. They stuck his brain on a USB thumb drive. That being said, I don't know if Adam the computer is based on his, like, on his brain, yeah, and that he, or if he actually has memories and it literally is him. But as far as I'm aware, the computer seems surprised that you remember the name Adam. I don't know. Oh shit, when did I last save? I forgot the boss fight was literally right here. Okay, we have to fight the SAX now, realizing that we're trying to kill it and destroy the entire space station with it, is now trying to kill us. In what is honestly the... Okay, I take it back. This probably is the coolest fight in the game. It's the closest we'll ever get. You know, and Dark Samus notwithstanding, this is probably the closest you'll get to an evil dual copy fight in a 2D Metroid. Where it's like, you know, I'm you but stronger, like literally. And you can see it's like DNA is becoming more unstable the more we hit it. I'm actually doing okay at this. I forget about this form, but it's really cool. It's like fucking it's a power suit, but it's fucking mutated. Unfortunately, it doesn't last that long because it's like its DNA is so unstable. It's more for show than anything else. It's like, this is how desperate this thing is. It's after like fucking centuries, like a fucking millennia being just like prey for the Metroids, it's now acquired intelligence for the first time. And it wants to cling onto it like for dear life. No. That went smoother than I was expecting. I don't think we've actually seen this from thus far, yeah. So, like, again, awesome fucking sprite work. This is like some Death Star command bridge shit. I assure you, this power station is fully operational. No. Unfortunately, my rate for completion and time is going to be shit. I do apologize, but there's a fucking trail of destruction here. The hangar is completely ruined, and there's a finally extremely large hatched Metroid egg. Yep. Now, okay, pause. There is a Gamma Metroid here, right? And the Metroids, as we know from Metroid 2, are weak to percussive blasts, such as missiles. They're also weak to ice, so surely the ice missile would be the... Oh no, it doesn't work. Major flaw number 2 with this game. What the fuck, Nintendo? Of course, the SX still has the ice beam, but not the fucking tactical knowledge to actually take on a fucking apex predator. And then our final upgrade, we get the Fusion Super, like, Metroid suit. Oh, sorry, yeah. We actually can use the ice beam now. Although, this thing is... I think, like, it's cool that even, like, honestly... Sorry. I forget that how much damage this thing does. This is supposed to be a final, like one of those, like a final show boss, but I'm actually losing it. Okay. There we are. Even with all the knowledge and power that the X gained over the course of the game, the Omega Metroid is still the most dangerous thing in the universe. I think that's pretty cool. Do fly off in our penis-shaped fucking spaceship. That perfect military mind, the wisdom of Adam Malkovich, continued to serve even after death. Until today, I had no idea that the minds of leaders and scientists were frequently uploaded to computers. Of course they were. Yes. My incredible reunion with Adam may have saved the universe, but how will the beings of the universe view our resolve? I doubt they will understand what we did. The danger we barely averted. They will hold tribunals and investigations. They'll hold us responsible. Adam understood this, and he spoke to me in my anger. Do not worry, one of them will understand. One of them must. I reflected upon his words, and I see the wisdom in them. We are all bound by our experiences. They are the limits of our consciousness. But in the end, the human soul will ever reach for the truth. This is what Adam taught me. Just one little detail still bothers me. This ship can only be started manually. Yet before I faced the Omega Metroid, the ship moved on its own, guided by someone's hand. Is it possible, Adam? Lady, what's troubling you? You wondered how I started the ship? Just think about it. They lent me a hand. Did she think for a second that Adam was alive on the ship the whole time? Like some Prometheus fucking shit? Oh, there they are. They're the monkey and the birdos. Producer Takahiro-san. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you for watching Metroid Fusion again. As I said, this Sakamoto did the story, of course. This game I owe a fair amount for bringing a great deal of my subscribers to my channel, you know. And if you did subscribe because of the Metroid videos, I really do apologize for not uploading more often. It's been, I just didn't really have the time for it, but I did want to finish Metroid Fusion because it's a great game and better than I remember now that I've replayed it. Anyway, though, going forward, I'm thinking of like what games to play on the channel. Metroid Dread is obviously in the pipeline, I suppose. If you want, you know, following this, if that'd be something you'd be interested in. But if you have any other suggestions, and I'm considering also dual streaming to Twitch and YouTube. If you'd be interested in watching streams on YouTube, you know, let me know what you think. Otherwise, I think I could just keep posting these sort of offline commentary videos, and maybe the occasional stream highlight. I don't know. Oh, Satoru Iwata, rip. But yeah, no, this was good. It was nice to just sit down and play a game all the way through without having to like take a break for like 2 or 3 days in between. Oh, okay. I definitely did not get a good ending, but let's see. Clear time. 2:51. Hold on. Hold up. Rate for collecting items is 45%. How is that actually better than my original clear time? Holy shit. I got the hats off ending, at least. See you next mission. Let's see, yeah, shit, I didn't even realize that I beat my fucking... I got a personal best there. I thought I did really badly, to be honest. I did get more completion, I guess, on the on the first well, this isn't the one I played on the stream. I think I got like 4 hours or something, or 5 hours on the stream, original stream, but I replayed it and got just over 3, but 245 ain't bad, man. Fuck me, that's not bad at all. Okay. Gallery, yeah, Metroid Fusion Gallery. So this is the, I think, yeah, this was the ending screen I got when I streamed the game, because I wasn't very good at it at all, which I think is the worst case ending. This is the sort of the you did good, kids ending, sort of, I think, where you got it in under, like, in a not terrible time, like part-time, I say. Then, though, like, when you start getting the fucking nudie endings, that's when it's like, holy shit, did you 100% the game in, like, 59 minutes? Oh, no, sorry, yeah. So, I haven't seen any of these before, and some of them I think are Japanese exclusive, but, see, all of this stuff is sort of hinted at in the like, Samus's backstory and things. Like, I know there have been spin-off mangas and stuff, but it's all hinted at in, like, bonus art, but, like, I think, damn, I feel like the games could have done more to expand on this side, on this. Anyway, though, thank you for watching this video. Yeah, no, let me know what you think of this sort of format. I might potentially do more. If you want to see more from me, check out any of my streams or any of the archives on the second channel. Also, I'll link to videos I've done for other people if you're interested. And yeah, no, I mean, it's good to be making videos again. So I guess I'll see you in the next one. And yeah, no, in fact, fucking, if you want, you know, leave in the comments or in the Discord or something, like, what you'd like to see from me in the future. And I guess I'll just do whatever, but have a good one.